Hi guys, and welcome to another Forex Fire Friday vlog. The time is at the moment 25 to 9. It is obviously a Friday. It's the 4th of June. And as always, I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of a catch up on how my week has been. And what I want you guys to do as well, if you can do, please comment below. Let me know how your week has been, because I genuinely love to hear how everybody has been getting on, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whether it's been the ugly, like on last week's Forex Fire Friday vlog that we done. And again, we share this journey together. Okay, the strength in numbers in everything that you do. You link arms, you hold hands, and you share each other's pain, you share each other's elations, and you share each other's journey. And what is one person's obstacle is something that somebody else has overcome. Okay, and that has been my general consensus of what I've built and put together from my aspect, and with those in and around, and what I do with this entity here on my Discord of Forex Fire. Okay, if you haven't seen that, you just need to head over to the website that's above my bonny head there, the forexfiremembers.com. There'll be a lot more about what we have produced on that Discord. Okay, but let's have a little bit of a chat on how my week has been. Again, for those that are new, that don't know anything about me, I am John Docherty. I am Forex Fire, and I've been trading for 4 years basically. And the first year or two, I was massively up and down, and it wasn't until around about my third year I had that light bulb moment. It was like the mist disappearing from around me. I was able to sort of see and read from a naked chart without the need of any indicators. When I had that light bulb moment, I was like, wow. I unselfishly wanted to start to teach the things that I have seen worked for me to those that were in and around my closer circle. I sort of had a good knack and a good understanding on how to structurally break things down to help those that were taking the same sort of journey as me. And that's when I started to do this sort of stuff. It only started with 5 people. It has now went to, I do believe, around 270 people now, which is absolutely fantastic. Not only that, I do have the YouTube channel. You only need to look for Forex Fire, and I'll post the odd video on there. But with that all out the way with, like I say, I want to talk about what my week has been so far this week. Going from what happened last week, we were doing a live session trade, and I go back onto the preference of like 4 years of trading. My third year, I unselfishly wanted to build a big community to keep everybody close around me, to try and help those come onto like a bridge or a stepping stone and avoid the pitfalls that I had to endure. And I'm loving seeing the engagement within this community. So with that in mind, I went through, or I started doing a live challenge last month. But the last week was the last sort of few days I could do to get into it. And just to give you the tail end of what happened with that, I got into the live session of the live challenge a week later, because I do have a couple of what we call live challenges. One was primarily one called From Fun and Talent. It's a talent bonus, and I've had that going for around about a couple of months now, where I get paid bi-weekly, so that's every 2 weeks. As long as I'm profitable, I get a percentage of the profits that I make within that account. And to be fair, that approach for me at the moment has been doing fantastically well, because I'm a bit more methodically involved in knowing that as long as I stay true to my plan, that I'm going to be getting paid a profit. And again, it's not a fantastic amount. It's about 10% of the profits that I have produced okay? But it's a guaranteed profit from the overall enumeration of money. And then once you go from that second week into the fourth week, so that's the second week into the fourth, so every 2 weeks, you're still getting the bonus. So let's say you end with a £1,000 a bonus commission on that second week. Once you go into the fourth week, you still get whatever extra of that 10% plus that 1,000 again. So again, that the parameters that they've got in the business model is quite good. However, it does have its drawback. Every month, what happens is you need to pay it's a bit like a subscription, a monthly subscription, and it's around about $75. However, what they do, as long as you've been profitable, they actually half that membership, so it comes down to about $30 odd. So each month I've been paying around about $35 by the end of each month for the 3 month, which isn't too bad, because in English money, I do believe it's in the late 20s. And again, if I'm profiting every 2 weeks, it's just a drop in the ocean of what I'm getting back. On top of that, I did a live challenge in conjunction with this same prop firm, and last month it went pretty well, to be fair. It was exponentially growing, and then I made an absolute clanger. I went against what I would normally do, and I traded from work. I do work a full-time job. I'm aiming, and this is the good thing for me, I'm aiming to do what I do from home and being able to trade from home. Not only trade, but also be there for this community and another community that I'm part of on a more full-time basis. And at the moment, guys, I did set myself a target and a goal for that to be happening later on this year, in around about Christmas time or just after Christmas. That was my sort of goal, sort of thing. From there, there's things coming into motion for me, both from a work aspect and outside of work aspect, where it's all starting to sort of fall in together very nicely for me. So again, one of the things that's happening, I mean, I'll not go too much into it, but I'll just let you know my work related stuff. They do understand the stuff that I do outside of work, and this is fantastically going well for me, and they are sort of understanding in that. And I've got a few things that will be happening very soon where I can start to do this on a bit more, not more on a permanent basis, but more of a part-time, full-time, if that makes sense. But there'll be more on that as the months go on, I suppose. From there, I mean, that live challenge that I had, I did make a schoolboy error and went against what I would normally do, and I tried to take a trade from work. Now, the reason I'd done that was simply because when I was into my third year or so, I was working alongside some other people, and I was providing some trade ideas. I don't like to call them signals. I was making some trade ideas, and I was putting every waking minute that I had into putting those trade ideas into that group that I was with. And it was very good. It was very successful, to be fair. That in that essence, in that time that I was doing that, I was able to do that from work at times. Now the business or the place where I work is massively grown and expanded. There's just not enough time in the day for me to be able to have my trading time on my downtime while I'm at work, because even when I have that bit of downtime at work, I'm still doing something that is related or referenced to what I do with my work related day-to-day job. Whereas back in the day, I was able to have a little bit of a downtime, a little bit of me time, and look at the chart and sort of produce the content and produce the trade ideas to that said group. So that's when I took that trade and it went south. And not only did it go south, it more or less knocked me straight back into the break even, or even into the red, to be honest. Now, when that had happened, it was like a kick in the teeth for me. But keeping the right mindset, keeping the right approach to your trading, it tests your character and how strong you are. You get knocked down in everything that you do in life. It's just how you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and manage yourself and hold your head high and move on from it is the real the test of character that you have, you know. And I took a trade not long after that, and it took me right well back into profit. From there, again, I was teetering on the edge. I was going into my last week of my live session, of my live challenge. I had to the third. Was it the third? Yeah, it was. I had until the 3rd of June, which was just the other day, to get to 8%, and then we get past that to the verification stage. I took the account back from the brink of the death, and I took it to more or less, I think it was a 6% growth or a 5% growth. But once again, I took a trade, and I mistakenly did something on my, what we call a drawdown level. And this really did annoy me because I was working out my pips to my lot size and I thought I had it covered. However, what had happened was my drawdown come down and it took me below the parameters that funding talent give you, and I was out of my drawdown by about $25, I think it was. So as soon as you instantly go below that barrier on the drawdown, it just basically classes it as a violation, and it cancels out that challenge. So it was a learning curve, learning lesson. Maybe I put a little bit too much stress on myself with missing the first week and having that last final few days of trying to attain that 8%. But on a positive note and looking at it, again, I was up, I was down, I was well up, I was even down in the trenches. I picked myself up, dusted myself up, took a little bit of time away from the charts, reset my mindset, come back to the charts, stuck to the trade plan that I had after that had happened, and I brought it back. I actually gripped it by the scruff of the neck and I brought it back. Unfortunately, tripped over along the way on one of the plain and simplest things that we should always be looking at, and that is your risk to reward and obviously your lot size. Again, fair enough, that was all well being said and done. From there, I started a fresh challenge, and you might want to hold on to the end of this because there's something else I'm going to be sort of talking about as well with regards to the smart money and something else I've came across. So I started a fresh challenge just the other day. I think it was late yesterday. And I set that up while I was in bed. I did it on the phone, paid for the challenge, and started doing the trade from my phone again. Bang. Stupid. Looked at the charts, put a trade on, went onto my FX book, and I put on my risk to reward, the parameters, clicked on what my stop loss was going to be, what I thought was going to be my stop loss, took the trade, and then realized that I did not change the amount that I wanted to risk. For some reason on that risk to reward, it was on around about 3% risk. So I put that lot size into my trade, and lo and behold, the trade went against me. While I was in bed, I thought I had everything set. I shut the phone off, I went to sleep, I woke up in the morning, and then I woke up and realized what I'd done. So again, slap on the hand. Again, that account is not lost. That account's not lost by any way, shape, or form. But it's hanging off the cliff. It's hanging off the cliff edge with one finger on a rock. It's basically, to put it in layman's terms, I've only got a 1% risk left to bring that back. Now, again, I love a challenge. I really do love a challenge, and if there's anything that I can do, I can dig deep down to try and at least bring that back. However, we'll see how that goes. I'm possibly going to set up with another challenge as well, because I just want to talk about something at the moment. Again, in my journey of Forex, I've done many things, strategies, looked at things, and I think this is where I've been able to retain a level of focus and a keen eye on structure. Okay, now again, there's quite a few people that have been following me on my journey from day one know that I do have a good knack of being able to see your strategy, take a look at it, and sort of mold it around to any sort of market conditions. Okay, now the smart money concepts, or smart money trading, or banker strategy, whatever you want to call it, I've noticed or I've learned a lot from the program and the business I'm actually partnered with right now, and that's Easy FX. Fantastic team, fantastic approach to trading, giving you a 7-figure business model plan. And it wasn't until I started watching how the guys within that team sort of approach the charts and look at it, that I was looking at certain pinpoint areas of, let's say, patterns and structure, and I was looking at one or two things, and I thought, like, some people can't always sort of beat the charts, and this is a fantastic way for them to learn. But again, the ideal sort of situation you need to be in is obviously on sessions, which is like your London session, your York session, and be there at the start of those sessions, play out of the hour, or they start to play out. And I thought myself, is there a way I can utilize the smart money approach, but do it with an element of a scalp? Now, again, there's many people that will actually tell you, I actually detest a scalp. Okay, I detest it. However, with what I've learned, taking a step out of the box and sort of looking at these particular areas, okay, these areas of importance, these areas and points of interest, and again, this is a skill set in its own, and scalping is very much hard. I was looking at certain areas and setting, let's say last week I was setting some areas, and I was testing these parameters. And if you need to know more about that, you just need to scroll a bit further down on my wall, and you'll see what growth I did in the space of 2 sessions, that being the London session and the New York session. So with that going on, and like I've called it the smart Forex fire scalp, it's a method and a technique where I've started to look at with a little bit more of a keen interest, although I don't obviously like the scalping, to be fair, but this has been too good for me to ignore, to be fair, because one, it is keeping the concept of the strategy that I've come to love, which is smart money. Okay, this is just not like look at indicators, blah blah blah, this has turned this color, that's turned that color, this line or EM here is touching this, and this is above that. That for me is a total load of bollocks. This is based on structure, it's based on a candle and a certain sort of time with a candle, and that's what I've done. Is it was exceptional what I did the other week. I'm going to be doing more on that within the Discord of Forex Fire. Okay, I'm going to be setting some homework soon, later this week, for the guys. I'm possibly going to start that off tomorrow for the guys in here, and I'm going to start and possibly do it on patterns, because I don't just want to go bang like what most places do when they're bringing any training to you. I want to be able to get you to identify certain things. So in this instance, I'm going to get the guys to start we're going to start working backwards, if that makes sense. I like to simplify things, and doing this sort of approach for me, it's not like saying this is what we do and this is what we look for. So it's not going to get everybody rushing into doing this thing. I'm going to be working this backwards in my own unique style. So I'm going to be getting the guys to be looking at certain structures and certain patterns before I start to implement, where when you see this, this is where you place it. If I can get the guys to start looking at these patterns and looking at them and then implementing it and then bringing it to the homework sessions and then showing me a screenshot that they can identify these areas and I can confidently see that, this is when I can then see, right, as a group, we can move forward to the next step. And from there, what will happen is I can then see this is what you need to layer over the top of that chart, layer over the top of that pattern. And this is how then you can start to drill everything down and be able to focus yourself into that one area rather than that big chart, and get in on your trade. Now, when it comes to the success rate, again, it's not going to be 100%. Not going to tell you lies. I'm not telling you to bullshit anybody. What you're going to get is it's a very tight stop loss, but with that tight stop loss, if we can condense things into a patterned approach, a pattern style, and we look for like the certain structure within that pattern, we have a good chance where if that pattern holds the structure, because it's based upon smart money, if it was to hold that pattern and continued in a continuation, then you have a fantastic risk to reward to get in and get out within minutes or within the half hour sort of thing, and get your, like, I don't know, like on average a 3, a 4, or 5%. So again, it's just being able to bring this to the forefront to the group and then get you guys to understand the pattern. If you're not involved with that, just going to share my screen for a quick second. Just going to share my screen for a quick second. Right, so I've got a few people contact me, right? So from there, guys, I mean, if you want to see anything that I do, you've got access to my Facebook page. I've got a clickable link for Forex Fire members on there. Okay, click the follow button. Okay, if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out here, and again, I'm a no bullshit person. I'll tell you how it is. I struggle from time to time, but doing this together and sharing the pains and the obstacles that we all face, we can help each other attain that higher level of where we want to be. So click on the follow button. I've got 250 following me right now. Okay. From there, I am going to bring back, let's have a look where we are. I am going to bring back this here. I'm going to revitalize this group as well, because again, I want to use this group to sort of give everybody a chance to chat with each other inside of what I do for Forex Fire. So again, I've gotten here, and I do thank everybody for staying on watching this video at the end. Sorry, it's been a long time since I posted inside this group page. I've been super busy, and spelled that wrong. Again, you can tell it must have been quite late when I was doing this. And a paste. We are right. So I've been super busy, and again, the reason why I've been super busy for the last couple of months is because basically I had a family emergency, a real. We had two actually, but one was a real bad family emergency, which it dragged on for a few months, but all's good now. Touch wood. I've got some wood in front of me, and then on top of that, I was building this community, this fantastic community, and I just want to touch on something right now. This is just to show you, okay? Back in the 5th of December was the last time I posted in this group. I only had 98 members, okay? 98 members, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. However, when I was sort of, yes, I've got something here, something special where we can all share and grow, it took my focus away from the Facebook group itself. I made the Discord channel. It was a lot more intimate, okay, a lot more personal, a lot more sort of, this is the place to go where we are going to help each other, okay. From there, from the 5th of December of last year until now, we have steadily been growing on that Discord channel. And again, we'll just wait for this to load. And I can give you the numbers that I have right now. We have, at this stage, 279. There's 5 bots in there. So there's 274 people inside of that, what we've built right here. And that's fantastic. And this is where I like to put my approach and my stamp. And not only that, we have some great moderators doing their sort of approach to the charts. We have the homework sessions based upon the banker's strategy, also homework sessions based upon ADR, okay. Homework sessions based upon supply and demand areas, okay. And soon to be there's going to be homework based upon that smart Forex fire scalp, okay. Again, we are going to slowly bring this into the group. I'm keeping it, I don't want to put too much in there, but because this is smart money based, they all build that big picture around each other, okay. The ADR does, the supply and demand brings its own element of smart money in. The banker strategy is what it is, the banker strategy, smart money altogether. But we can actually scalp the charts using smart money techniques. And I'm going to show you over time, most certainly into June and towards the end of June, where you can sort of comfortably look at the chart without the need of an indicator, without the need of something changing a color to tell you, or without the need of you needing to pay for a tool from another platform to tell you, look at this. I'm going to get you to confidently look at that chart and say, that has done this particular thing. Slap on your risk to reward tool, let it play out. If it comes down and it breaks out of that and hits your stop loss, you know then that it's done that for a reason. And that reason is simply going to be, it is breaking the structure and it is going to continue in the opposite way, okay. That's how confident I am of this other procedure, okay. So I'm just going to share my screen and close this out as well. So again, guys, if you want access to anything that we do on here, okay, let's just see if I can move this out of here. Again, we have a fantastic area on here. From there, if you are wanting access to the bigger stuff that I do, which is EasyFX, you just need to comment below, okay. Comment below, just reach out to me, private message me, and I will get you involved with that as well. Again, it's part of the bigger picture that I'm at. I am the stepping stone. I am the bridge to help you get your confidence, get your consistency. Once we see you getting your profitability up there, okay, it is then time to have a more intimate, personal one-on-one, whether that is a Zoom call, whether that is a chat on Messenger, whether that is just a simple phone call as well, okay? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help as much as I can, where I can. Just to talk a little bit more about the fund and talent stuff before we go. Nothing to hide as well. Again, let's see if I can show you. So this is where I'm at the moment. This is a live account. This is going to be a fresh one. This one here is my talent bonus. I just got paid today from my previous one. So this one is now zeroed out, and this is ready to rock going into the next week or so. This is where I stupidly made that mistake with starting off a new live challenge and going onto my phone, setting up the trade and going onto my phone and using my FX book to do the calculation, and then getting the lot size, and then waking up in the morning and realizing that I'd put the trade on, risking the 3%, I think it was. So as we go in 4% actually. So I only have, I do believe it's 1% left of drawdown before it's totally gone. But again, love a challenge. We'll see how that goes. The other thing I might do, again, guys, just to implement it, if I just stop the share, I'm thinking about starting another live challenge. Like I say, I'll put myself in front of the firing line to test, see what works, and then bring it back to the team. I'm thinking about testing what I have with the smart Forex via scalp side of things, and then putting that into a live challenge in a test bubble all of its own. Okay, so that there could be good. So from there, guys, I mean, that's it for my weekly Forex via Friday vlog. Again, I do genuinely and honestly appreciate everybody that watches the content that I put out there. I've got more to come inside of the EasyFX side of the business that we do, again, to help people in and around that side of stuff as well. Hopefully, I'm talking to the guys there at the moment with a few things that I could possibly do to help them as well. So that's all exciting. Stay tuned, stay watching on my wall. Remember to follow, remember to comment, remember to like, remember to share. Okay, if you're watching this on anybody's other timeline and you're seeing this handsome Geordie face and you want to know more on how to get started, get back to the person that is sharing this video. More importantly, let's get you started on here. Okay, let's get you started on here. Let me be that building block, that stepping stone, that bridge to get you the confidence, the consistency, and get you onto the profitability. And then we can take you by the hand, show you what's on the other side of that fence on the greener grass. Okay, guys. So again, please don't forget to drop your comments below. Let me know how your week has been going. Let me know what has been your pitfalls, what has been your elation. Because again, it's not always about what's affecting you and what is stopping you from moving forward. I want to hear the good, I want to hear the bad, and I want to hear the ugly. Okay, guys? So again, thank you for tuning in. My name's been John Docherty, Mr. Forex Fire. See you later, guys.